Let's do The Signal, which Signal is a strange sort of science fiction film. Starts out with, I think it owes quite a lot to, do you know Shane Carruth, who made...
No. You're
Primer and
asking me a
Upstream
question,
Colour?
the answer is no.
Okay, fine. So I think this, take my word for it, that this owes a debt to the sort of experimental science fiction cinema of Shane Carruth. The story is three tech nerds are on their way to deliver. One of them is changing colleges, but there's somebody who's been hacking them, and they find out that the hacking is happening. They track the hacker signal to Nevada, and they're going to go to Nevada to basically to confront the hacker. And when they get to Nevada, they get to a house which doesn't look like it can possibly be where the hacking signal is coming from, and then everything suddenly becomes very, very strange, and they find themselves on the wrong side of the decontamination suits, with Lawrence Fishburne turning up wearing the decontamination suit, doing that voice that he does from The Matrix. You know, the one when he talks like that, with everything very well pronounced.
Everything
in a way
in italics.
which sounds threatening and a little bit sinister. And it's a strange film. It's a film of ideas rather than special effects, although it does have some actually rather well-executed special effects that wouldn't, not a million miles away from some of the stuff in Ex Machina. But it is primarily an ideas film. It's about emotional responses and rational responses and paranoia, really. It's about that kind. It's like an upmarket episode of the Twilight Zone. Well, they're upmarket themselves. An episode of the Twilight Zone or the X-Files, which I always liked the X-Files on television. It's kind of like that. It does, in the end, go one small step too far. And when it came to the end of the film, there was an audible groan in the cinema I was in. I would kind of forgive it the misstep at the end, because I thought that up until that point it had done a pretty good job of, being interesting and being quirky and being strange without really ever sort of, falling down into what you expected it to be. But I generally quite liked it. It's a good, solid, interesting ideas science fiction movie on a low budget, which understands that actually that's what drives science fiction. It's to do with ideas rather than spectacle. It does have spectacle, although oddly enough, the sequences of spectacle are probably the least successful thing in the film.